Hi, welcome to the Department of Physics. It is a privilege to have you here. I would like to say that I'm Elidio Lopes, I'm the head of the department. My background is in astrophysics, and actually I'm a professor of physics and astrophysics. My trajectory is quite standard, actually. It's quite international. I start my bachelor in the University of Porto, then I travel to Paris when I do my Erasmus and my master's. As a master's Erasmus, then I did my PhD. Then my first job was in Cambridge, and my second job in Oxford, and then I came back to Portugal, and I'm here now, the head of the department. Now, the department is a very exciting place to be because I will say it's the top department in physics in the country. We have exceptional scientists working in all fields of physics. Experimental physics, theoretical physics, in different areas. I think in the future, later in the interview, I will give you a few takes on that. And it's also a very interesting place to be because you participate in many international collaborations, including CERN, ESA, and ITER. Okay, well, actually, we have the three cycles of studies. We have a bachelor's in physics and engineering. Actually, we have the top students in the country in science. We have also a master's, that is a follow-up of this project. And we have two PhD programs, one in physics and one in engineering physics. Well, I would say for very two good reasons. First of all, Técnico is one of the top places in Europe to do engineering. What's very special is most schools of engineering do not have fundamental physics and mathematics, and you have the opportunity to come here to do this kind of approach, maths and physics. And of course, I mean by physics, I mean experimental physics, engineering, and of course theoretical physics, which is one of our strongholds. Another reason is, especially if you are very concerned to develop your research career in terms of physics and experimental physics on engineering, and we have four areas that we are leading in Europe, in the world, and I will present now them, will be astrophysics and gravitation, if you want to study black holes and stars and galaxies. Another one will be particle physics and nuclear physics. Actually, you have here a nice screen well shown fundamental particles. You have an opportunity to understand this in a much better context here. And also, of course, we have also condensed matter nanotechnologies. If you are very concerned with the new discoveries, new technology applied to companies or research, you can do that so. And the last area, also very important, is plasma physics, laser nuclear fusion. All the topics, quite actual topics of research. You are welcome to come Técnico. I think you have a wonderful experience. Being at Técnico, you are not only in Técnico, but you are somehow in the world, because you can interact around the planet. Well, one of the aspects is worth to remind is we have excellent researchers and top professors in the university. Another thing which is very important I will stress is we have literally very brilliant young minds. Literally from Portugal, we have the very best, most motivated young, let's say, future researchers and engineers come to Técnico, and especially to the physics engineer here is very important. Another element which is very challenging is in the culture of Técnico, and the master is also the same. We have a very large community of students. I think more than 2,000 students in Erasmus programs come to Portugal and go abroad from Portugal. And therefore it's a very international to be. You can have an exceptional experience in that sense. Well, let's say by internal rule, the second and third cycles, all the courses are in English. Actually, even the masters at our course are basically 98% are in English. Everything's in English for the second and third cycle. For the first cycle, we have many courses given in Portuguese, but actually we have many courses, a few courses also given in English. To be specific, we have a course of relativity that is taught by English colleague that is now gives course to the first students coming to Técnico, and the students love it. And actually, he has been considered the best teacher this year in the department. Okay, well, let me give you a very simple, straightforward answer. Let's imagine that you have a young girl coming from Tanzania to to Técnico. I think he can have a wonderful experience because he can do a bachelor, then a master's, and eventually they can involve with the Portuguese community, or he can go the rest of Europe. Actually doing the master's, she has the opportunity to enlarge a network of research in different countries. And then she can return to her own country or do something else. You can pick up another example. You can pick up a young boy, come from the north of Europe, and eventually come here to do the masters, get passionate, and decided to do a career in physics. And you have a good opportunity to develop this, do his PhD also in the department. And therefore, who knows, maybe both together can meet and have a good exchange between Africa and the north of Europe. Well, yes, I can. Let me give you two examples. One is a former PhD student of the school that went to lead a team in Stanford for 10 years and is responsible basically to study the conditions of the plasma in stars on the laboratory, and actually is on the edge of making this kind of discoveries. Let me give another counterexample. As a former student, a French student that came to Técnico and do his master's here, and then pursue also a PhD, and now she's working observing the stars at ISO and also as a member of CNRS in France. Well, above all, lots of passion, a very strong motivation to learn new things, to think out of the box. That's very important. Of course, if you have a background in math and physics, it will be very helpful, but you should be committed, be open mind to create lots of friends, lots of networking, and of course, if you speak good English, it will be very good. Okay, well, in the physics department, we are very, let's say, orientated to do different kinds of things, either apply things, real technologies, and you can find many applications in different situations, but we are also very motivated to understand fundamental questions of nature. We want to understand what the matter is made of, what are the fundamental particles. All these particles interact with each other. And also, questions that are related with the rest of the universe. We want to understand black holes, gravitational waves, dark matter and dark energy, that are big questions. Not only we do that by the research with some colleagues around the world, but sometimes we are involved in big experiments, big collaborations, and the most important ones, the ones that we are very active in, are of course CERN, ESA and ITER, and we have many of these collaborations. We have scientists that are leading their own fields and are pushing not all the science in the department, but also the science in Europe and around the world. Okay, well, I work in many places around the world, in Paris, in Cambridge, and Oxford, and other universities. And a thing that makes Técnico for me unique, and the big passion of students, all the people work around the professors and researchers. The environment is really exciting, and I can trust you, I have many places, the relation that we have between students and between researchers, and even with people giving support, is amazing. We really like people feel well, and because of that we make all of them welcome, regardless where they come from, what their background. One thing I'm very proud as the president of the Department of Physics is the fact we literally have students for all backgrounds, for all the country. And each time I think and seeing a young face, I always ask them, where are you come from? And they told me they come from this place and that place. And it's not because they are brilliant minds, but they are brilliant minds with different perspectives around the world. This makes a exceptional place to study. And of course, the motivation they come, I don't need to teach nothing about that, because they are passionate about physics, mathematics, experiments, and of course, always to discover and answer the most fundamental questions of nature. Thank you for your time.